evening. We do have quite a few seats right up here on the edge. All right, good evening and welcome to this evening's event. Thank you all for coming together to celebrate the class of 2025. Beautiful group of young adults. Well, again, thank you all for coming together this evening to celebrate these young adults. Graduation is more than just a moment. It is a marker in time, it is a rite of passage, and a mosaic of memories written by the voices that walk beside you, echoing stories of laughter and struggles and of becoming, slowly created line by line. Courage from a friend's quiet strength, resilience from a coach's shared dream, and hope from a teacher's belief in your potential. Graduation is not an end, it is the turning of a page, a pause before the next chapter begins, and an acknowledgement and celebration that you are ready to step out on your own and write your own story. A unique piece of tonight's celebration is that each graduate will address the community that has helped them grow into who they currently are. And we will also hear from two of their mentors that have shared many experiences with them over the years. But before we celebrate our graduates, it is an annual tradition that at this time we celebrate our Students of the Year. This year we honor 3 students. And these awards honor a student who exhibits intellectual curiosity, exemplifies care and diligence in study and in character, possesses a growth mindset, and serves as an ambassador. And when I call your name, please come up and stand on the stage with your award, and Miss Jenny will take your picture. This year's High School Student of the Year is Kaylee Hobbick. This year's Middle School Student of the Year is Adam Schoenmakers. And this year's Most Improved Student of the Award, this year's Most Improved Student of the Year Award goes to Alexander Reed. Graduates, your lives are a collective quill, inscribed by the communities you have grown up in. They're not single narratives penned by only your hands as a solitary journey through time. Your stories are far more collaborative, connective, and collective as part of your communities. Community helps us write our stories. It brings us together in unity for a common purpose. Community is made up of individuals whose stories help you to write your own. The stories of your family members who love you. The stories of teachers, coaches, and mentors who guide you. The stories of the students who came before you. And the stories of the ones graduating beside you today. You enter this world into a pre-existing story of your family. They provide you your first foundational chapters. They give you cultural values and family traditions, a shared history that becomes the backdrop for your own unfolding tales. The stories that they share about your ancestors, the lessons they impart through daily interactions, the very structure of your homes, all contribute to the nascent nature and narrative of your lives. You learn to speak the language of your community, both figuratively and literally, adopting its customs and internalizing its expectations. As you mature, your communities expand. Churches, social circles, sports, school, bringing with them new characters and plot twists. As a member of this learning community, you have delved into knowledge, the intricacies of history, the wonders of math and science, the beauty of literature and philosophy. You've engaged in critical thinking, debated complex issues, and challenged your own assumptions. These pursuits have broadened your perspective, expanded your horizons, and equipped you with tools to navigate the world. They connect you to your past and help you to pen new chapters of understanding. Of course, tennis has played a vital role in shaping your story, instilling the values of discipline, teamwork, and perseverance, pushing your physical limits, overcoming challenges, and celebrating both individual and collective victories. All of these add depth and integrity to your stories. This community also uplifts your spirit, giving you a sense of belonging and the feeling of being connected to something greater than yourselves. Through shared experiences, triumphs, setbacks, and everything in between, you have formed bonds that enrich your stories with new layers of complexity. Graduates, when you were young, your communities were chosen by your parents, the nurturing places for you to grow and develop. But now, as you step into the next chapter, it is you who will choose your communities. I encourage you to pay attention and listen and understand the stories of the people you surround yourselves with, because they will make indelible marks on your story. I encourage you to keep an open heart and open mind so that you may consciously choose who will help write your next chapters. As you move forward, your plotline will twist and turn, but know that the members of this ATA community will continue to nurture your character, ignite your spirit, and empower your mind. This community has played an indispensable role in shaping your life story, and you have done the same in shaping the story of this school and its future members. In the words of college prep graduate and Dartmouth alum Abigail Chu, as is inscribed on her senior paver on the Walk of Inspiration leading up to college prep, you have only one chance to write your story. Make it one worth reading. Graduates, I look forward to reading what comes next in each of your stories. This evening, let us simultaneously celebrate the end of this chapter and the beginning of your next. Enjoy this evening.
How's everybody doing tonight? Good evening, everybody. It's truly an honor to have the opportunity to speak for you all tonight. First, I want to thank my mom. You've gone above and beyond every single day, and you've shown me what it means to be a good man through your actions and unwavering support. Dad, from the long weekends of driving the tennis tournaments together to sitting at the kitchen table until midnight trying to tackle math homework. Neither of us knew what was going on, but we were going to give it our best shot. To my brothers, Jasper, you are truly an inspiration. Whenever you are giving me guidance when I need it the most, or if you're calling me a dummy when I probably deserve it, you've always been there for me. Oscar, I've always loved the random phone calls about planes you've seen or fish you've caught. And of course, the late night shadowboxing sessions. Those moments meant more to me than you know. To my fellow seniors, you are all truly remarkable individuals. I'm proud to stand beside you, and I'm confident each of you will go on to achieve great things. Coach Newman and Ms. Hager, thank you for shaping me in more ways than I can count. And Coach Jake, thank you for all the moments where I didn't just laugh with you, but I laughed at you. I've had more coaches than probably anybody in ATA history, but I truly believe I finished with the best. When I first came to ATA, I had hair nearly down to my waist, and most people thought I was a girl. Now people say I look 35. And that just shows how much I've grown since I got here. From 7 a.m. practices last summer to being chewed out by pretty much every coach on the entire coaching staff at one point or another, I've learned a lot. How to work hard, how to respect my coaches, and how to grow as both an athlete and a person. I still remember my first day when I confidently told Coach Newman, "Yeah, for sure, I got you, man." Let's just say, that wasn't the best decision. But all jokes aside, every coach here truly loves what they do, and they care deeply about helping us grow. And they've helped me more than I could ever express. Lastly, to the teachers, Miss Erickson, I don't know if she's here tonight, I can honestly say I might not be here graduating if it wasn't for you. I may not have loved running sprints every time I forgot my homework, but I definitely learned not to forget again. Most of the time. Thank you all for being here tonight. Go Pugs and Rush SAE.
Good evening, everyone. First, thank you all so much for being here. It means a lot, not just to me, but to all of us graduating today. To my fellow classmates, congrats. It's been a pleasure getting to know each of you, and I'm proud of what we've accomplished. When I first came to ATA, I was quiet, unsure, and a little closed off. But over time, this place helped me grow into someone I'm proud to be. ATA gave me the space to open up and step out of my comfort zone. The people here didn't just teach me lessons, they brought out a version of me that's stronger and more confident. I'll always be grateful for that. I want to give a special thank you to Coach Newman. Without you, none of this would have been possible. You believed in me and pushed me to be the best version of myself. You're more than a coach, you're a role model. I thank you for all that you've done for me. To Miss Carroll, thank you for not only leading this school with strength and dedication, but for the wise lessons you've taught me along the way. Your words will stay with me beyond graduation. To my dad, thank you for always pushing me to be better even when it was tough. Your strength and work ethic inspires me every day. You've taught me what it means to work hard and never give up. I admire you more than you know, and I love you so much. To my mom, thank you for being my everything. You're not just my mom, you're my best friend, my biggest cheerleader, and the one person I know I can always turn to. You supported me through every high and low, and I trust you with all my heart. I love you endlessly. To my step-parents, Heather and Daddy Jay, thank you for always being there for me. You've shown me love, support, and care throughout my life, and I'm truly grateful. Even though we're not connected by blood, you've treated me like your own, and that means so much to me. I love y'all and appreciate everything you've done for me. To my siblings, Ben, Riley, Jake, and Gus, thank you for making growing up fun and unforgettable. I love you all so much and will miss you next year. To my coaches, Coach Notice, thank you for putting so much energy into every lesson and for always making me laugh when I needed it most. And Coach Ashley, thank you for being such a fun, passionate coach. You've inspired me with your dedication to the sport, and I've learned so much under your guidance. While Coach Notice and Coach Ashley have been my primary coaches, I also want to take a moment to thank all the other coaches and teachers who have each left a meaningful mark on me. And finally, to my friends, Pia, Riley, Annika, and Maddie, my sisters, I honestly don't know how I would have made it through without you. You've been my laughter on the hardest days and the joy in all the little moments. We've grown up here together, and it's hard to imagine life without you. Saying goodbye to this chapter is tough, but I know the bond we have will last beyond this. I love you guys more than words can say. The list of thank yous can go on, but for now, I'll end by thanking you guys again for coming out to celebrate this special night with us. Here's to the memories ahead and the amazing future. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to begin by congratulating my fellow seniors. This ride has been incredible, and I couldn't have asked for a better group to grow and learn with over these past 7 years. Each of you is special and has given me memories I'll carry forever. I'm excited what you go on to accomplish and how each of you will change the world for the better. When I look back on my time here, I don't remember the test scores, the deadlines, medals, trophies, or even the grades. I remember moments of kindness and community. I remember when Michael and Elliot dropped everything they were doing to help me with my calculus homework, even though they had to dig 10 years back in their memory to do it. Because it feels like they took calculus in elementary school. I remember when Sydney Marin got me a teddy bear and Reese's for Christmas, and it made me feel like the most loved mentee in the world. And I remember when Coach Tommy Coach Tommy taking me to breakfast to check in and chat and proceeded to make an extreme detour on our way back because I had finally decided to talk. These small acts may have not affected my GPA or test scores, but they shaped my experience in ways numbers never could. In a busy, driven community like ATA that often feels rushed, competitive, and loud, kindness is quiet, but it is powerful. It doesn't ask for recognition, it doesn't go viral, but it stays. It lingers in memory long after people forget what you said or what you did. Kindness is what has transformed a group of teachers, coaches, and students into a second family for me. One of the biggest lessons I've learned here is that how we treat people matters just as much, maybe more, than what we achieve or the accolades we collect. It's easy to get wrapped up in comparison, like what tournaments someone's won or what classes they're taking, but I urge you to open your heart and your ears and really hear what people are saying. Everyone deserves to be heard, and everyone deserves to be loved, and I promise if you look for the good in people, you'll find it. I want to thank the people who helped me see that. To the teachers and staff at ATA, thank you. You have been more than educators. You've been mentors, role models, and steady lights through some of my most formative years. Your passion for teaching goes far beyond the classroom. I could speak about each and every one of you for an hour, and it still wouldn't be enough to capture the impact you've had on me. Thank you for holding up a mirror to the potential I couldn't yet recognize. Thank you for cultivating a space that celebrates curiosity and exploration. Thank you for making ATA not just a place to learn, but a place to belong. To my beautiful family, I am a mosaic of all of you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You are the most vibrant, loving, fiercely loyal people I know. Every piece of strength, resilience, and compassion in me started with you. Your love is my anchor and my wings. I love you more than my heart can bear. As the people and I up here on this stage step into the next chapter of our lives, into new cities, new schools, and new environments, we're going to meet people who are different from us, who challenge us, and sometimes who need us. And to those of you still on your journey here, you'll face those same moments too. Whether you're stepping into high school or your final season, you'll have the same choice we do, to meet the world with cynicism or compassion. So my hope for us is this, that we choose kindness, that we choose to listen, and that we choose to see the good. Because if we do, we won't just make it through this next chapter, but we'll make it better. Thank you.
Okay, we're good. Wait. Now we're perfect. All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for being here tonight. First, congratulations to my senior class, the largest graduating class that the school has ever seen. All 12 of us. I have special memories with every single one of you, and I will cherish them for my entire life. To my closest friends, Michael, Faye, and Marcus, it has been an honor to know you. I can't thank you enough for being such great friends to me, even when I haven't always been a great friend back. I hope we stay in touch and somehow find ways to hang out in the future, even though we can barely organize a lunch right now. Faye, you're in charge. Good luck. I'd like to thank my parents for supporting me and pushing me my entire life to become the person I am today. Dad, thank you for all the weekends you spent with me, whether it was camping with me in the freezing cold for Boy Scouts or taking me to tennis tournaments all over Texas. Mom, thank you for teaching me the values that matter: kindness, discipline, resilience, and so much more. So much of who I am today is because of the example you've set. I could not have made it to this podium and UT Austin bound on my own, and I owe many of my accomplishments to the both of you. I'd like to thank Coach Newman, who took on the challenge of being my primary coach when I first came to CP almost 5 years ago.
Let's go.
You pushed me to become a better tennis player, and most importantly, a better version of myself. And even though college tennis didn't end up being my path, I don't regret the second I spent on the court, as it has taught me so much and made me a better person. Thank you also for respecting my decision to no longer compete in tennis and focus on other areas in my life. Thank you, Mrs. Carroll, for cultivating ATA's school environment and culture. This is truly a special place, and it would not be without your work. Thank you, Coach Tommy, for forcing me to challenge my opinions and not failing me when my final papers could not have been more controversial, and you completely disagreed with my findings. That is a testament to how great a teacher you are. Thank you, Mrs. Erickson, for being the first person to humble me in math. I remember breezing through my first semester in your class, just like I had in every math class before then. Some of my classmates even thought I was a genius there for a second. But you assured them, and me, that quote, "Don't worry, I'll get it." Starting the second semester by failing 2 tests straightened me right out. We'll recline back. Thank you, Mrs. McEwen and Mr. Wasserman, for teaching 2 of the hardest but most interesting classes I've ever taken and showing me lots of grace throughout. Finally, thank you, Mr. Rutherford. Where do I even start? You have taught me half the classes I've taken here, if not more. You have been the one to help me understand priceless wisdom when no one else seemed to be able to. You have the busiest schedule and most responsibilities of anyone I know, and you have literally spent countless hours talking to me. I don't know how I will ever repay you. I've changed a lot in the past 2 years. I'd like to think for the better, and much of that is due to your guidance. Even though I'm not perfect and there's lots more work to be done, at least I know what I'm aiming for now, and that is thanks to you. Okay, now, I'd like to end by discussing my quote. It was a wonderful night, a night as is only possible when we are young. I chose this quote not just because I admire Dostoevsky's writing, but because it captures something I felt in such simple yet profound wording. But I want to be clear about what it is not saying. It is not saying the advice so often given to kids and teens by adults. These are the best years of your life. You better enjoy them. I have heard this advice constantly since I was young. And personally, I've always hated it and refused to believe it. I refuse to believe that every year from here on out will be slightly worse than the last until there's nothing left. At the very least, I'm going to try my absolute hardest to make sure my life doesn't go that way. That said, I do think younger years are a very special time. I think some nights are only possible when you're young. Everything is new and therefore exciting. There's something beautiful about how intensely we feel everything when we're young. How a late night conversation on a road trip, or even just sitting around doing nothing with your friends can feel unforgettable. That's what I think this quote means. Not that this is as good as life gets, but that these moments are irreplaceable. They aren't necessarily better, but they're unique and special and won't come again in quite the same way. But that doesn't mean what comes next won't be just as meaningful. It's different. I believe life becomes richer with time. We gain depth, understanding, and a stronger sense of who we are and what matters. So, to the non-senior classmates of mine in the audience, do cherish this time in your life. These moments are special, and they do go really fast. But don't let anyone convince you that this is as good as life gets. What's ahead can be just as beautiful, because the best parts of life are waiting for the person you're becoming. And I cannot wait for that next chapter. Hook 'em.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming out. I know me and my fellow seniors all appreciate it. And I just really wanted to take this time to thank all the people who have helped me along my journey, because I definitely could not have done it without them. So this time, I'm going to start with the most important people, which is Mom and Dad. You two are amazing. You give me so much support and time and contribute so much to me, and I couldn't have done any of this without you, so thank you so much. To all the teachers and coaches at ATA, I'm forever grateful to you all. You've given such a diversity of experience and guidance to me that I really wouldn't be the same without. And I want to give a special thank you to Coach Tommy and Mr. Rutherford, because I ask myself sometimes if I would even be here going to CP without them, and I think sometimes the answer is no. And I'll tell you why. Coach Tommy, thank you for being my only English teacher for about 7 years. I know that also means you had to put up with my shenanigans for 7 years, but I appreciate you a lot and for challenging my viewpoints and always being there to edit those last minute papers or whatever I need. And Mr. Rutherford, thank you for all the support and guidance you've given me, whether it's teaching me and showing me that I don't in fact like chemistry, or all your support through my college process and all your guidance, so thank you a lot. To Coach Newing, Miss Carroll, thank you for all the energy you put into this place. I know it means an incredible deal to you, but you don't have to do nearly all the things you do for us. So thank you for that, and I'm incredibly grateful. And finally, to all my seniors, it's been a long ride, and I'm privileged to be able to call each and every one of you a close friend, and I couldn't have pictured a better group to spend my last year with. So thank you so much. I know each and every one of you will go great places in life. And if there's one thing I want to finish off with, it's to make the most out of every day in this place. Because whether we realize it or not, we're each given lottery ticket after lottery ticket to be able to go here with this amazing group of people. And I think the best way to move forward from that is to enjoy every moment, train as hard as you can, strive to be the best person you can, and be the best version of yourself. So thank you all, and go Garnet.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for everyone who made it here today to support me and my remarkable peers in the ATA College Prep Class of 2025. If you don't know me already, I'm Marcus McWilliams. I spent the past 3 years here after transferring from Westlake High School as a sophomore. And today I'm honored to share a few reflections on that journey and to thank those who made it possible. When I first walked through these doors, I wondered what it would be like to belong to a school with no buses rolling down the driveway, no marching band filling the air with school colors, and a senior class smaller than many homerooms I'd known before. Yet on the small campus, where everyone's name is known and every voice is heard, I discovered something far more powerful than any mascot or pep rally: community. From helping each other study to cheering on one another in every pursuit, each triumph here has felt like a collective and each challenge shared. And this is due to the amazing people that have made this place possible. I want to thank Mr. Rutherford, who taught so many of my classes and has always invested in our learning. At any hour, before school, between classes, or after hours, he made himself available, ready to explain a tricky concept, answer an obscure question, or simply listen. His dedication showed me what genuinely unwavering support looks like. Coach Tommy poured the same passion into every lesson, urging us to do our best, to explore topics beyond the syllabus, and willing to help or edit or give opinions on our papers or speeches whenever we ask. Coach Newman, you make this whole place possible, and you are the absolute perfect example of working hard and being the best at what you do. Your commitment to everyone at ATA is what makes this place so successful. Ms. Carroll, thank you for making this event and ceremony happen, and none of this could happen without your hard work either. So I also want to extend a very special thank you to my mom. You're always committed to me above all else, and I'm glad we get to spend time together this year. Even though you work tirelessly, you still find time to be there for me, whether it's a text, call, or having a beautiful dinner when I get home. Your sacrifice and love has shown me what it takes to truly love selflessly. And to everyone who came to see us today, thank you. Your presence here is a reminder that our achievements are celebrated best when shared with those who care about us. Next year, I'll trade the small group of seniors for the bustling campus of the University of Texas. But no matter where we go, we carry ATA spirit with us. As a word of advice, I encourage you to be bold and not dwell on the past. When I decided on a whim to leave Westlake and join ATA as a sophomore, it was a risk, and I just decided to go for it. I learned that you need to be ready to dive headfirst into every opportunity and try not to linger on the past or what might have been. So wherever you find yourself next, whether it's a new campus, a bold career move, or a passion project you've been dreaming about, don't dip your toes, jump in completely. Trust that you can adapt and give yourself permission to see how far going for it can take you. I want to end with a quick quote from C.S. Lewis. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Thank you to everyone that made this possible, and hook 'em.
Good evening, everyone. Well, it's a great honor to be asked to speak this evening and to have gotten to be a part of these young people's upbringing. Thank you so much to their parents for bringing us into their lives and bringing them into ours. We have tried hard to justify the trust that you placed in us. And I want to throw in, my wife wasn't able to make it this evening, but a number of the seniors here have gotten to have an art class or two with her over the years, and she wanted to say, send you her warmest regards and congratulations. Boy, most of this year's grads have been with us at ATACP for many years. Some of these I have taught for as many as 7 academic years in a row now. When they're filling out the Common Application website to apply to colleges, it asks us to list all the courses we've taught with people. I've been in danger of overflowing the text box in a few cases here. Boy, with such a large senior class this time by our standards, the thing that I found myself really struck by is the diversity of their interests and strengths. Over here on the stage with me, we've got scholars, athletes, artists, bakers, pilots, entrepreneurs, theologians, gamblers. The list just goes on and on. And it shows me that we have encouraged these students to explore a wide range of human crafts and to really embed themselves in the ones that engage them. I want to take a few minutes here to talk about crafts and craftsmanship and to try to articulate for these graduates explicitly a few things about craftsmanship that maybe are usually left implicit. By crafts here, I mean the big open-ended projects of creative pursuit of excellence that we organize our lives and our societies around. Everything from fine arts and sports and hobbies, all the way up to the top level, all-encompassing ones like family building, politics, the philosophical pursuit of rational truth. This may seem like a pretty broad or eclectic category then, but what all these activities have in common is the open-ended, progressive pursuit of an excellence whose final form is not yet known. Let me try to illustrate what I mean using tennis as an example. So, the goal of playing any particular tennis match is obviously to win the match, right? But what is the goal of playing tennis as such, overall? You can't win the sport itself, right? Rather, the overall goal of playing tennis, training as a tennis player, is to become progressively better at playing tennis, to pursue excellence in this activity. So then the final goal of all tennis playing must be to play tennis in the best possible way. But what does the best possible tennis play look like? Well, the funny thing is, no one knows. We might be able to say what the best tennis play so far looks like, but we can never rule out the possibility that there is some other way of playing tennis out there, much better than anything that's currently being done. At any time, some up-and-coming player could start just crushing everyone with some technique no one's ever seen before, and a new era of the game would begin with new standards of excellence. This sort of thing has happened before, many times, in many different activities, sports, games, arts, and so on. So the pursuit of excellence in sport is open-ended. We don't yet know what the game's ultimate goal looks like. This is true for the craft as a whole, but it's much more true for each individual practitioner of a craft. At the beginning of his career, a new tennis player simply does not know what excellent tennis play consists of. If he did, he wouldn't be a beginner. So then, how can you, as a beginner, make progress toward a goal that you don't even know how to recognize? Well, as we probably all here know, of course, the solution is coaching. And thank you to all the tennis coaches. A beginner can only make progress by submitting to the authority of a coach, a teacher, a mentor, someone who's further progressed in that craft and is therefore in a position to show the beginner the way forward. But this submission to the teaching of an authoritative expert demands certain virtues from the student. First, to learn and grow, the student must exercise humility, recognizing that he is not already an expert in this craft and simply does not know what it is best for him to do. That's not an easy thing for most of us to admit. We're a very egalitarian culture. We like to feel that our opinions are just as good as anyone's. But when it comes to objective excellence in a craft like tennis, we're not all equally qualified to form opinions. If I try to give you tennis advice that contradicts what your coaches are telling me, you should ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. And they do. So the first step toward learning anything is recognizing that we do not already know it, and humbling ourselves to become beginners in a craft. Next, recognizing the inadequacy of his own understanding, the beginner must subordinate his own judgment to that of the master, whose authority he must accept if he is to learn the craft. Your coach will sometimes tell you to do things that seem pointless, or stupid, or clearly wrong. But give it a try anyway. All right? Learning from a master means trusting their leadership, even when you can't yet understand the reason behind what they're teaching you. This act of justified trust in a legitimate authority is another exercise of virtue, and it has a name: faith. Faith is the choice to trust someone whom you have good reasons to trust, and is a virtue indispensable for growth in a craft. Then the next virtue demanded of the learner is another one our culture really struggles with: patience. Wouldn't it be nice if you could go to the gym and do one super hard workout and then just wake up the next day all jacked and agile and athletic and stuff like that? Wouldn't it be nice if you could give your absolute best effort in one skill drill, in one practice, and then find that you have now completely mastered that skill? Craft just doesn't work that way. You will not master a craft in a day or a year or a decade, and any sort of perceptible progress will take disciplined, consistent work for much longer than you'll want it to take. There are no shortcuts to excellence, and the impatient will burn out and give up long before they approach it. But if you are willing to exercise these virtues, you can embark upon the grand journey of craftsmanship. Now, I've just now called the pursuit of a craft a journey, but I'm going to turn right around and problematize that metaphor. Here's why it's misleading. When you go on a journey, you probably, hopefully, have a destination in mind. That actually sounds like something one of your teachers or coaches might tell you as a piece of general advice. As you travel through this life, always keep your destination in mind, right? And it's sound advice in a lot of ways, but the problem with that is that, as I mentioned earlier, as a novice in a craft, you can't possibly have a very clear picture in mind of the final goal of the craft. That's one of the big reasons why beginners need so much coaching. They don't start out already knowing how to get better, or even what better looks like. As you grow in a craft, one subtle but important thing that your mentors must teach you is how to better recognize what excellence in your craft consists in. So the pursuit of a craft is a bit like a journey, but it's like a journey in which you're trying to figure out where your destination is while you're already traveling there. Putting it another way, one important goal of your training is to give you a better understanding of the goal of your training, if that makes sense. A good name for this sort of open-ended adventure whose purpose you grow to understand better as you move toward it is a quest. Quests have precisely this kind of self-referential meta-adventure structure I've been describing, in which one of your goals is to progressively discover and set better goals. This feature of craftsmanship is the reason why craft is never complete. People will never be finished playing sports or making art or studying philosophy or building communities, because we'll always be on the quest for a still better, as yet undiscovered way of doing these things. And this only becomes more and more the case as you advance further within a craft. Beginners progress by obeying their teachers and coaches. Intermediate practitioners imitate the experts and hone their skills through practice. But masters of a craft have to innovate to progress. They have no one more excellent than themselves to imitate and learn from. They're already standing at the edge of the map, and every way forward leads into the unknown. This is both an exciting and a daunting feature of the pursuit of a craft. The further you proceed, the more you will be left without external aid, forced to depend on your own resources and judgment, which hopefully will be mature enough to sustain you by the time that point arrives, right? All right, so now you're cultivating virtues as you learn and grow through the stages of your quest after excellence in craft. But now I also need to warn you about one big trap that craftspeople can easily fall into, a mistake that can completely derail your quest. That warning is this: be careful to make your goal excellence and not effectiveness. I'll put it another way. Aim for mastery, not for victory. To show you what I mean, let's talk about hooking. I know you will have all had matches in which your opponents made some questionable line calls. Particularly at lower levels of play when there are no judges on the court, it sometimes seems like anything goes and whoever dares wins. So, what do we think about that? Can we formulate a convincing, defensible reason not to cheat at tennis? Or should we all just take whatever we can get away with? What if I decide to really lean into winning at all costs and decide that I'm just going to call the ball out literally every time it touches your racket, every time? What are you going to do about it? If you're not willing to descend to my level, I'm guaranteed to win. Does that make my all of your shots are out strategy a good strategy? Does that make me a good tennis player if I win the match that way? Well, better yet, why don't I just hire someone to hit you in the kneecap with a pipe on the way to the court? That'd save everyone a lot of time. It's been tried before. These are exaggerated proposals, but seriously, why not cheat if you think you can get away with it? The real answer is, winning by cheating will prevent you from experiencing any of the personal growth that is the actual point of playing the sport. If you hook your way to big wins, you will not grow in athleticism, in intelligence, or in virtue. Instead of the satisfaction of looking back on the hard road you walked to finally reach a great achievement, you will live with the knowledge that your successes are just illusions, lies you've told yourself to conceal your laziness and cowardice. I'm using tennis here as an illustration, but in every craft there's competition among the practitioners for recognition, for awards. And so there will always be the temptation to take shortcuts and to do what works rather than what you know is best. You must prepare yourself in advance to resist this temptation. Your coaches may tell you sometimes that you need to do whatever it takes to win. And they're right, within the framework of the game. Like we said earlier, the goal of the game, within the game, is to win, within the structure of the rules. But winning the whole sport is a very different matter from winning some particular match. If a man wins a Grand Slam title, only to have it revealed that in order to get there, he bribed all the line judges and hacked Hawkeye and poisoned his opponent's Gatorade and put a voodoo curse on the other guy's rackets before each match, would we still say that this player was the best tennis player in that tournament? No. No, he would just be a pathetic wannabe, a huckster who no one would ever agree to play tennis with again. By putting victory above virtue, he would actually be excluding himself from the possibility of being a great tennis player and forfeit all respectability along with it. So yes, do whatever it takes to win, but think carefully about what game you're really playing and what winning really means in that game. The determined pursuit of excellence in your chosen craft will bring out the best in you and force you to grow. Valuing external success above internal virtue will sooner or later lead you to betray both yourself and your craft. But if you pursue your chosen crafts with humility, faith, and patience, if you bravely strike out into the unknown on a quest for excellence as yet undiscovered, if you resist the temptation of easy wins at the expense of your integrity, if you choose to face the real adventure of a human craft, then you will reap a rich harvest over the seasons of your craftsmanship. You will grow in skill, in discipline, in insight, in self-knowledge, and in self-respect. And once you've passed through the straight gate of apprenticeship, you will enter into the wide field of mastery. And you'll be able to share the fruits of your labors with those around you, with your family, your friends, your community, and someday even your own students and protégés to come. No human life can be called complete that doesn't include some grand project, important enough to deserve your best efforts and expansive enough to hold your love. Sport, art, scholarship, entrepreneurship, friendship, marriage, parenthood. These great lifelong crafts are thrilling and exhausting and terrifying and consuming, and they are the only things that will end up having been worth the doing when you come to look back on your years. I'm so happy for all of you to have found the beginnings of crafts that you love, and my advice to you is dig in. It'll be worth it. Congratulations to the class of 25.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here to celebrate this day with us. It means a lot to stand here, not just a student finishing high school, but someone who's grown up in a place that truly values people, who they are, and who they are becoming. And I want to thank the people who made this possible. First of all, to my teachers. Thank you very much. Each of you pushed me just enough. You expected more when it counted, and you gave me space when I needed to just figure things out. You've taught me more than just curriculum. You taught me focus, work ethic, how to think with clarity, and you did it in a very personal and caring way. That's going to stick with me. To my family, thank you for always showing up for me. You're the reason I'm standing here, and I wouldn't get these incredible experiences without your love and support. And to Miss Carroll, thank you for creating an environment where students are seen and supported as individuals, where growth isn't about checking boxes, it's about building something real and lasting. You've created a school where people are given a chance not just to succeed, but to figure out what success means for them. For me, that's looked like building the early stages of my professional career, right here before graduation. Thanks to the support, trust, and opportunities I found at CP, I've been able to start working as a photographer and run a production company. I've taken on real projects, learned from experiences, and met some of the most impactful people of my life from the connections in the ATA community. But that wouldn't have happened at every school, but CP isn't every school. What makes this place so special is the way it pays attention to people, to interests, to potential. Here, if you're ready to work, someone is ready to help you. It's not about being the best, it's about being personal, intentional, and willing to invest in each other. And that's why I'll remember most about ATA. Not just the classes, but the people. The conversations, the encouragement, the way it never felt like we were just passing through. Even though it's small, the school makes a big difference in people's lives. To my classmates and friends, we made it. We've been through a lot together. Some of us have known each other for years. We've grown up side by side in this place, and we figured out who we are while figuring out how to navigate the world that kept changing around us. We even survived a global pandemic. We had to learn how to be flexible, how to adapt, and how to keep showing up. When it wasn't easy, when it wasn't normal, and sometimes when we weren't even sure what was coming next. That taught us more than we probably realized. We've learned how to adjust, how to pay attention, how to keep moving forward anyway. As we go into whatever comes next, college, work, creative paths, new experiences, my advice is simple. Keep making real connections and learn to recognize opportunity when it shows up. Because the truth is, most things in life won't be handed to you and clearly labeled. You won't always know you're in a defining moment until you look back, so stay present. Pay attention to people around you, and when something feels like it matters, lean in. Relationships and timing will open more doors than perfection ever will. And don't be afraid to start small. Some of the best things come from just showing up, consistently doing your part well, and being someone some others want to work with. That's what's worked for me so far. So, congratulations to the class of 2025. We grew up here, we thrived here, and now we moved forward with these experiences, the perspectives, and the people that we've built along the way. Thank you, ATA College Prep, for everything.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out tonight and supporting myself and the senior class. First off, I want to congratulate all of the seniors. We did it somehow, but we did. When I think back on all the memories we've created together, I can honestly say it's been an unforgettable journey. I'm incredibly grateful to call each and every one of you my friend. I know without a doubt that every one of you is headed for amazing things, whether it's in college, your career, or wherever life takes you. Throughout most of my high school career, I saw school as, well, kind of boring. I thought of it as just sitting through long classes, buried in books and assignments. That mindset made it hard to get out of bed in the morning, usually not until the third alarm. And I'd head to school already struggling to find anything to look forward to. When I transferred to ATA College Prep during my sophomore year, my goal was clear: to pursue D1 tennis. I was passionate about the sport, but even with that driving me, I still felt the same sense of dread each morning. I focused on what felt hard: sitting in class, studying for hours, training for hours, and overlooked everything else. Then one day, my first practice, I had a conversation with Coach Newman that shifted my perspective. He said, "Do you realize how lucky you are? You get to play a sport you love and go to school with amazing people who push you every day to be better. Enjoy it." That moment changed everything. I started focusing on the good, the time I spent with my friends and family, the joy of playing tennis, and the support of truly incredible teachers. Not only were there things to look forward to in the day, but life became a lot easier. Things that were difficult in the past were so simple when looking at the bright side. I started to see how special and fun my life really was just by thinking differently. To the young ones here today, still in school, cherish these moments. Focus on the positives and trust that the challenges will get easier with time. Enjoy every bit of time with your friends and family. School goes by faster than you think. I want to say a couple thank yous. Thank you to my friends and family for pushing me to become the person I am today and for shaping the values I carry with me. Special thank you to my family for traveling. I know there's a lot of you, whether by plane or car, to be here for my graduation. It truly means a lot. I also want to thank my teachers for helping me reach this milestone. I know I haven't always been the easiest student, and I've probably given you more than a few headaches, but you stuck with me. You're always there when I needed support. Thank you all again for being here today. Go Vikes.
Okay. Hello everyone, and thank you all for taking the time out of your day to be here. Firstly, I want to congratulate all you guys. I feel as though this year we have all grown so much closer, and we now share something that we will never forget. I'm excited to see where we all go from here, and so proud of all of us for making it to the state. I've spent more time at ATA than I have at my own house. I've seen all the people that are sitting up here more than I've seen my parents and more than I've seen my brothers. I've grown up and learned so much from everyone here. The people at ATA have become my family. I've made friendships and connections that I plan on keeping for a lifetime. It has been a long and hard journey, but highly rewarding, but there has been times where I've asked myself, what am I doing here? When I have these feelings, I recall my first year at CP. It was my 9th grade English class, and we had like an activity where we each had to bring something from like Asian culture, and kind of like talk about it and explain like how it came to be. And I remember that Shay decided to do his on sumo wrestling. So he like came in and he like gave a whole presentation of how it started and how like it came to be, and then you had to do like an activity to go along with it. So he brought in 2 yoga balls and he made like a tournament where I was the second seed. For some reason I got like first round. And then Coach Tommy was the first seed, I'm pretty sure. And so we all fought each other, and then came the I don't know what round it was, but came Coach Tommy to fight Shay. And Coach Tommy got so into this like game. It was just a game. It was literally a presentation. So into it that he just like runs at Shay with the yoga ball, sends Shay flying. And I see Shay and then he like hits tree branches, he's like falling down, and he ends up landing in this like huge ant pile. And Coach Tommy is like, oh my god, like what did I do? And everyone's like going to Shay and they're like, are you okay? Like Coach Tommy, like what the heck's wrong? Shay was like 13. But that was the moment I knew that this was the right place for me. Anytime that I have those feelings of doubt of what I'm doing here, I remember to that moment. I remember that I have had so many fun and wonderful memories, and I would not trade this place for anything in the world. And if I could do it all over again, I would. So thank you to everyone that made this place so special to me. I want to thank some people personally that made this a possibility for me. So to Coach Newman, thank you for creating a place that I can call my home. You have done a wonderful job with each and every one of us, so thank you. To Ms. Carroll, thank you for creating such a wonderful school environment and a place that I look forward to going every single day. I have to admit, there have been times where you have gave us like these breathing exercises and stuff that I've been like what the heck? But I found myself using some of them today to calm my nerves, and I thought, maybe she was onto something with some exercises, so thank you. To all my teachers, I want to say thank you for putting up with me for being late to every single class. I don't think I was on time to any class this year, but I want you guys to know I really tried to make it there on time. But it was always like 5, sometimes 10 minutes late, so I'm sorry. But thank you for just brushing it off and not getting mad at me and just continue teaching me like nothing happened. So thank you. To all my coaches, thank you so much for everything. You guys have pushed me so hard to be where I am today, and this would not have been possible without you guys. Now to my dad, thank you for paying for everything. To my mom. To my dad, thank you for always believing in me and always believing that I could do anything no matter what. I see how hard you work every single day and you never give up because you know you have a family to take care of. You inspire me to never give up and always keep going, so thank you. To my mom, you are the reason why I'm up here today. Thank you for always thank you for always being there for me. You always stayed up every single night helping me with projects that I waited till like the last day to do. And you did them for me a lot of the time, so thank you. I always got really good grades. Thank you for always trying to teach me math. It was always an issue because they do math a little different in Mexico, you guys. You guys to teach it to me in Spanish, and I don't understand anything because like the words are different. So thank you for trying, and I'm sorry for yelling at you, and then you would yell at me for yelling at you. But you, every single time, you would always come back and help me. So thank you for all the patience you have had with me over the years. To Sebastian, thank you for coming today. You have been the best brother ever. Thank you for being my best friend for my whole life, and someone that I feel comfortable telling anything to. It has been amazing seeing you grow, and I can't wait to keep growing up with you. To Vernon, who came all the way from Australia to be here today, so thank you. Thank you for being such a strong role model for me as a little girl. Ever since I remember, I have looked up at you and have always wanted to do what you do. You are an amazing person and an even better brother. Even though you always bother me all the time and you're so annoying, you're still one of my favorite people on the planet. I'm sorry for sometimes treating you very badly, but I want you to know that I love you very much. To my friends, you guys have made every day the best day for me. I can't wait to come back and visit and watch you guys grow up and eventually graduate. I love you guys and I'm so proud of you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Elliot Wasserman. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate the graduating class as we move forward towards the next chapter of our lives. First, I need to thank my parents. I'm so grateful for the love and support you have shown me, and I will never know how to pay you all back. Maddie and Tabby, I know you're going to have a very big role to fill when I leave for college next year, but I want you all to know I will always be there for you all, and you can call me at any time. I would like to thank Coach Newman, Carol, and anyone else who volunteered their time to put together such a special ceremony today. Your efforts mean a lot, and this day wouldn't be the same without you. I would also like to take a moment to thank the teachers at College Prep. And as I'm sure Carol has corrected everyone at least once graduating alongside me today, ATA is not a tennis school. It is so much more. That so much more truly comes from the inspiration and steadfast commitment of the teachers here who guide us every day. I am so grateful that I've gone to attend a high school with such a dedicated and caring staff. You all are more than just teachers. You are mentors. I will miss you all very much. To my fellow graduates, I'm extremely grateful for how close our classes become over the course of the year. I look forward to seeing all the accomplishments you all will achieve, as well as the positive impacts you all will make on your communities. When I first joined College Prep at the beginning of my freshman year, I hadn't figured out what I was drawn to or where I wanted to go. While not uncommon for a 14-year-old kid, over the past 4 years, I was given something rare: the freedom to pursue what I cared about. That freedom has been invaluable, a path to self-discovery. The teachers and staff at CP have allowed me to start to piece together the puzzle of myself by myself. Whether it was Coach Tommy encouraging us to choose topics that truly interest us in our end-of-year papers, or the flexibility we're given in creating our own class schedules, College Prep doesn't just teach, it trusts. That trust helped me recognize my own interests, and more importantly, taught me how to act on them. And even though my classmates and I's puzzles are not near completion, we know how to keep going. As I look ahead to college and the changes it will provide, I'm comforted by the fact that College Prep has instilled an aptitude for me to find and pursue my passions. This comfort is not complacent, rather, it instills a sense of confidence in my ability to grow, learn, and explore beyond the ATA community. I will always be grateful for the ATA community and those who have guided and mentored me. And to any younger students still listening, I wish you all fortune in the creation of your own puzzles. And if the pieces don't seem to fit right away, don't worry. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank the organizers, Ms. Carol, Coach Newman, the parents, and everyone else who put together this wonderful event. I know it took a lot of hard work to make this happen, and I appreciate you putting the effort for us. I'd also like to congratulate the rest of my senior class. We did it, guys. We made it through. Lots of late nights and early mornings later, we're here at the other end of the road, and we're ready to move on to our new chapter. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michael, for those of you who don't know me. And I've been at CP for probably longer than anyone else outside of this senior class. I got to grow up looking at seniors who seemed larger than life. KK, Bailey, Callie, just to name a few. And now I get to be a part of the senior class and bring up our younger students just as they did. I hope I've managed to be the same mentor and leader for our younger students as my peers in this class and years past have been. This ceremony marks the end of my participation in a 14-year chain, being 7 years younger than the seniors in my first year, and now 7 years older than the kids who are growing up now. I grew up here. Over this time, I've gotten to see or hear about the majority of ATA's history, so there's a lot to choose from when deciding what to talk about today. Throughout all the memories and lessons, one stands out to me above all others. That's one of ATA's core values and one we reiterate in every signing ceremony: to turn students into persons not only of excellence, but citizens of significance. One thing I've discovered in my time here, apart from this, is that lessons don't always come quickly. Some come slowly. Just ask Coach Brandon how long it took me to learn a backhand. The timer might still be running on that one. But this lesson, becoming a citizen of significance, is one that it took me a little while to realize. When I first got here, I didn't really understand this whole significance business. I just wanted to be excellent, to be great. What did being significant even mean apart from that? But sitting on the court, looking up at the signing speeches from the JD section as a little kid, I kept hearing about the same significance thing. When I first got to CP, I started to understand. The people around me were excellent at what they did, but they chose to be significant. They chose to commit to projects like Glimmer of Hope. They chose to cheer each other on and practice in tournaments no matter what. They chose to make a new 6th grader at the school feel welcome and treat me as a peer instead of an annoyance. These acts of kindness, big and small, could have been easily avoided. They were difficult, they were tedious, and they were probably unnecessary. Everyone doing them was already an excellent athlete and an excellent student. But in these acts of kindness, in caring for those around them, they surpassed that. By doing this, they went from just being great to being really significant in the lives of others and in my life. This is a lesson from ATA that I hope to embody most of all. Whether it's in the small things like helping other kids with their homework, or taking my mentees to lunch, or in bigger projects that I'll undertake in college, I hope to carry this lesson for the rest of my life. Now for the tough part. The thank yous. Let's hope I can keep it together for this section. Nobody's cried so far, and I'm hoping not to break that streak. But for me, this is maybe the most important part of the evening. More than getting my diploma, or more than saying the first part of the speech, or congratulating everybody afterwards. Because without everyone here, I would not be the same person standing before you today. So know that every time I say the words thank you, it's not mechanical. It's a reminder to myself to take a moment to pause and feel the gratitude that I have to have spent just a part of my time with you. First, thank you to my coaches. Y'all were the first people I met at ATA and have been with me every step of the way. Thank you, Coach Brandon. I think I've laughed in every single one of our lessons since the first one 8 years ago. You've been the best coach and mentor I could ask for. Thank you to Coach Doug. You've always pushed me to be better and believed in me, and I'll be forever grateful for that. Thank you to Coach Dio. You've made fitness fun, and you've taught me to love exercise rather than dread it. Thank you to Coach Newman. Coach Newman, you've created a truly special environment here, and I'm extremely thankful that you have shared it with me. And thank you to all the coaches at ATA. All of you work so hard to make us better, and we are grateful for it, even if we don't always show it. I also want to thank my teachers. Y'all have taught me to be curious, and to always keep learning. To Coach Tommy, thank you for always being at your desk ready to talk to any of us about anything. Thank you for punching me in the arm whenever I walk by you, and throwing tennis balls when we were walking to class, and tackling me that one time when I was in like 8th grade. But most of all, thank you for being such a good mentor to us all. Thank you, Miss Anna. Thank you for all of our years of Spanish. You're one of the kindest people I've ever met, and I'm grateful to have learned from you. To Miss Linda, thank you for pushing us to new limits of rigor in our history classes. To Miss McEwen, thank you for the blue books. As painful as they were to write, they made us better. I admit it now. To Miss Rule, you've brought a light to every class that I've had with you, and made me should want to show up, even when we were on Zoom during COVID at 8 in the morning, and all I wanted to do was sleep. To Mr. Rutherford, thank you for always inspiring me, for fostering my love of physics and my curiosity. You've always taken the time to talk to us, whether it's to debate philosophy and theology, to teach me Go, or to just listen to our rants. Your input always brings new insight to any subject, and I'll sorely miss it. I don't know if I can fully express just how grateful I am to have had you as my teacher for all these 7 years. I'm truly and forever grateful. To all of my other teachers, Miss Carroll, Miss S., Mr. Watson, Coach Notice, I might be the last Coach Notice academic student here, but I remember that Algebra 2 class in my first year. Coach Gary, Miss Jenny, all of you have helped put me on the stage and make me who I am today. Thank you. To my family. Mom, thank you for always supporting me in anything and everything. You're the glue that keeps our family together. Your unconditional love is something that I aspire towards. I love you. Dad, thank you for setting an example for me, for always pushing me to be a better version of myself, no matter what. I wouldn't have gotten nearly this far without you. Sasha, you're the best sister I could ask for. You always have my back. And I think that shows that when you walked in here, I was beaming because I was so much less nervous to go up here, even though I'm still very nervous. To Oida, to Andrusha, to Katya, thank you guys for coming out today. You guys are so special to me, and I'm very glad you guys can make it, even though it's a long trip. Thank you for all the people in my row today. Y'all are always in my corner. I'm forever grateful. Thank you, Masha. Thank you, Vanya. Thank you, Mr. Brett, for being here. I'm extremely grateful to see you all. You've all been such a great part of my journey. And thank you to all my friends and the ATA community who have supported me for all these years. You guys have been more than a community and more than an academy and more than a school. You've been a family. I mean that truly and not just in the cliche way that people say all the time. Really, you guys are the most dependable community outside of my family that I have. Thank you so much. I hope to continue embodying the ATA legacy and the values of our community for the rest of my life. Some lessons come slowly, but the one I would learn again, even if it took me the rest of my life, is to leave behind a legacy. To become someone who leaves an impact on the communities that they're a part of. In other words, to become a citizen of significance. So if I can give one piece of advice to my younger peers, then strive not just to be great, but also to be good. Don't just embody excellence, become a citizen of significance. Thank you.
No violence. C.S. Lewis wrote that friendship is unnecessary, like philosophy, like art. It has no survival value. Rather, it is one of those things which give value to survival. Lewis argued it's friendship that makes life worth living. And that's exactly what this place has given us. Good evening, my name is Tommy Collins. Yes, I know I'm the 13th speech tonight. I promise I'll get to the point. Here it is. You've heard it a number of times tonight. Community matters. It's what you've built here together. It's what has carried you and me through more than you may yet realize. And it's what you should seek, build, and protect wherever you go next. Thank you, graduates, for inviting me to speak here tonight. I'm truly honored. There's a kind of lightness that comes from being around people who see you. People who ask nothing of you but your real self. I'm sure everyone here can picture someone, a grandparent, an old friend, a coach, a teacher, a trainer who just gets you. People whose presence strip away all pressure, all performance. That's what you've given each other. That's what you've given me. This school by its nature asks more of us, and in return it gives more. Over for some of you up to 7 or 8 years, we don't just learn names and routines. We learn each other. We get to know the person, their laughter, their habits, their strength, their trauma. And somewhere in all that knowing, compassion grows. Over these years, you've seen me not just as your teacher, but as a whole person, trying, balancing, navigating. I hope I've modeled something true. And when I've failed, I hope you still took something good. If these years together have taught me anything that I want to pass along to you, it's that meaning, fulfillment, happiness, peace, they don't come from achievements on their own. They come from shared experience, from connection, from showing up, from walking beside each other. And I'm so grateful I got to walk beside each of you. Before I close with my words of advice, I want to take a moment to speak to each of you directly. Michael. This was my 14th school year teaching, and it's the very first time I've had a student walk into my classroom and pick me up. Just for fun. Michael, you're a big teddy bear.
With Dio's help and your consistent work, you've developed into an impressively strong, skilled, potentially dangerous. For years now, I've tried to push and challenge you with new and different ideas, engaging in debates about pretty much everything. I've cherished these conversations and I will truly miss them. Feels like yesterday I stood up here and I told your sister Sasha that it was her voracious appetite for my class that motivated me to prepare even more. While filling Sasha's shoes around here is a pretty tough standard, you've managed to carve out your own. You have your own unique spot in the folklore of this school. Congratulations. Caden. Many years ago, I described you to somebody as being like a Labrador puppy. Now you've grown into an incredibly independent adult, capable, confident, courageous, standing on your principles with pride. I mean it when I say this, I admire you for these qualities. When you decide you're on the right side of something, you wear it proudly. You've learned to somehow maintain a smile and kindness, even while doing this. Calmness in crisis is a real strength in adulthood. Keep this up. You have a heart for service. I'm excited to see what you're going to do with it. Kaylee. You've grown into a mature, intelligent, strong, fun person. You've used your time here fantastically, developing into somebody who I know is ready to take on the ups and downs of college and adulthood. Kaylee and I have had a number of inside jokes over the years. For years, Kaylee's made fun of me for a tennis ball can scented candle that I bought. It smells as bad as you're imagining. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I threatened when she was making fun of me to give this candle to her at graduation. I've got it here for you. I smell it, it's bad. Jokes aside, I don't think any of us realize the hole that will be left around CP and ATA next year when you're gone. You've been a steady, positive presence around here. We're all going to miss you. Cole. I have fond memories of early mornings, 7 to 9 cross courts, 5 days a week for a few summers. You've taken all my classes, you've acted like all of them were easy, and they probably were for you. It has been so much fun to watch you channel your incredible ability into your own passions, to see your bullish confidence in action. You're courageous to go after an idea through all the ups and downs, while also being open and vulnerable in reflection. Keep it up. Lean into newfound interests and use your incredible toolbox to engage with vigor. College is a time to focus on you, to find your next passion. When you do, go all in. These next years are a time to create value for yourself, for your life ahead. Tristan, it's been a treat to get to know you. While your demeanor is calm, cool, and collected, there's zero apathy or laziness behind it. You have proven to be a consistently hardworking, accountable person who truly cares about doing the right thing. I love to see the wider family that you come from here today, the real roots that you grew out of. I love this. You treat your peers with kindness. You are always respectful. I've had so much fun joining your lessons and practicing over the years. I used to feel good about myself when I'd take a set off you a couple of years back, until the most recent time we played and I only got 1 game. Marcus, you are stoic, strong, and passionate. In class, you remind me of a different Marcus that we studied, Marcus Aurelius. Thoughtful, composed, fierce in principle. Some of your best thinking came when class had ended, and the conversation had gotten you out of your chair, still mid-argument, well into Mr. Rutherford's class. You stretch ideas, challenge assumptions, and invite others into real dialogue. But don't let your clarity or conviction make you feel you must always be composed. Strength also lives in openness and vulnerability. In college, keep seeking those deep conversations and the people willing to have them. Faith. Fate, you've become a confident, strong, capable young man who seeks excellence in everything you produce. My classroom's in the back of the gym. I get an interesting vantage point, the real view of who puts in the extra work in weird hours. Fate's been a regular. You put in the quiet work nobody sees. In class, the quality of your writing finds the limits of my guidance. You have a unique way with words. I heard somebody say recently that words are like spells. They have real power. Well, Fate, you yield real power with your brilliant mind, compassionate soul, and mastery of the language. Use it well. Elliot. You've had a standard of greatness for as long as I've known you. You bring a frenetic energy and focus. Sometimes you remind me of one of those little cars that you pull back and wind up and then release in whatever direction you point it. This is a real gift. It isn't difficult for you to harness high-level output. You're comfortable operating at an uncomfortable pace. This is most evident on the tennis court when you routinely wear out opponents in a battle of attrition, myself included. Lean into this strength and develop it. It's a differentiator. Also, though, learn to find a balance. There will be times when going softly and slowly is a healthier approach. Henry. Henry, you have a rare combination. You're genuinely kind, quietly confident, and deeply thoughtful. You connect with people easily, not by trying, but just by being fully yourself. You walk into CP with your big smile and your messy hair, and immediately the room feels lighter. Beneath that easygoing presence is someone insightful, articulate, authentic. You speak with clarity and you listen with care. Keep trusting those instincts. Your ability to make people feel seen and valued is a gift, and it will carry you farther than you know. Love you too. Pia, I feel like I should rewrite this after your speech. Proceed. You are reliable and independent beyond your years. The best way I can describe you is by highlighting the love your friends have for you. You have a certain gravitas, a positivity, but also a confidence and a steadiness. You give an air that is calming. It just doesn't seem like bad or negative things will happen when you're around. If anyone else had turned my desks into a doodle canvas, I might have lost it. But you have a way of being disarming, even while being mildly destructive. Pia, you have natural leadership qualities. I'm looking forward to watching the way you choose to use them. Ava. Ava, your energy is magnetic. You have a way of lighting up a space just by being in it. My daughters, for example, have always felt safe and drawn to you. You're the first person they look for when I bring them to campus. I think that says a lot. You bring joy wherever you go, whether it's through a spontaneous concert in the parking lot while all the ladies' matches have stopped and turned to watch you, true story, or just showing up to class with your full, vibrant self. You have a gift with people. I'm excited to see all the ways you'll use it. Okay. Briefly, I promise, I have 3 quick words of advice for you guys. 1, find a life you love living. In college, pursue subjects that pull you in, not just ones that impress others. Seek work that makes you eager for the day ahead. And choose relationships for how they feel in quiet, ordinary hours. If you choose meaningful work and authentic relationships, the outcomes have a way of arriving on their own. I teach because I genuinely enjoy the day-to-day, the commute, the quiet moments before classes start, the shift on a student's face when something clicks. Do I want to be the very best teacher? Of course I do. But some outcomes are out of your hands. What isn't is how we show up in the ordinary moments. 2, don't hurry past. We do this. We rush towards the milestone, destination, the outcome, as if peace, joy only exist at the end. When I was a kid, we took a lot of road trips. I remember driving my dad a little crazy, asking over and over, "Are we there yet?" Looking back, I realized I missed so much of what was right around me. But life isn't the Autobahn. It's the wildflowers on the shoulder. It's your mom sighing as she turns up Garrison Keillor. It's the light through the clouds when you stop worrying about when you'll get there. You're not built to go non-stop. You need real connection, quiet moments, art that moves you, space to breathe. So slow down occasionally. Step outside. Watch the beat of water trail across the window. Pull over and pick a wildflower. Ask the follow-up question. Let the current moment be enough. I love driving. I've got a bit of a commute to work, and I honestly enjoy it. The other day, my daughter Bonnie came with me out to work to come to Caden's signing ceremony. About halfway, she asked from the back seat, "Dad, are we there yet?" I just smiled because maybe we already were. Lastly, most importantly, find your next community. Find this. Create the kind of relationships where you can show up as you are and still be seen. The kinds that remind you who you are when everything else feels uncertain. What we've had here wasn't just about proximity. It was about showing up for each other. About asking hard questions and sharing big wins and tough days. It was real. And honestly, it's rare. When you get to your next school, don't settle for shallow. Prioritize people who bring out the best in you and commit to being that for them. That's how you keep the spirit of this place alive. The bonds we've built here may be invisible from the outside, but they're real and they last. That's how community works. You don't always see it, but you feel it. When you go to college, find your people, your next community. And if you ever lose your way, come back here. I'll be here. We'll all be here. Our campus and these people will always be here for you, and will always be a part of your story. Thank you for listening to me one last time. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jack Newman. I'm the CEO of the Austin Tennis Academy, and that is the length and the breadth of my speech. I'm not sure why I agreed to be last after the best 11 high school speeches I've ever heard. And behind two obvious Mensa members who just gave two incredible speeches and talked individually about each of you, which was awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. So, my job is to give the charge. Your diverse strengths, creativity, resiliency, intellect, and compassion have shaped this class into something extraordinary. Not just the largest. Each of you brings a unique spark, whether it's solving complex problems, inspiring others through sport or community service, or leading with empathy. As you step out into the world, carry this truth. Your differences are your power. Embrace them, lean into challenges, and lift each other up. The future isn't just waiting for you, it's yours to shape. And I am sure each of you will make it unforgettable. Congratulations to the class of 2025.
Wow, I hope you have a snapshot now of what it's like to live a day in the life of ATA College prep students. When I started the school in 2008, this is the reason why. So that students can strive to become the best versions of themselves and to share more about who they are with the rest of the world. And so I'm very grateful to have been part of your journey during this process. And yeah, it's time to receive your diplomas. You ready? As I call your name, please stand and accept your diploma. And then we're going to come here. Henry Wyatt Bullock Goyer. Ava Isabel Fernandez Stoll. Kaylee Carlotta Hobbick. Cole Christopher Killian. Fate Shinwa McAllister. Michael Misha Malashev. Marcus Ross McWilliams. Caden Matthew Rybold. Tristan Drost Stein. Pia Vargas Lopez. Elliot Aiden Wasserman. Well, this is the time at our ceremony where the graduating class symbolically passes the role of leadership to the incoming class. So representing the class of 2025 are Michael Malashev and Faye McAllister. So the weight of this ball represents the weight and responsibility in being a community leader. And leadership is a privilege to lift up the culture of this community that serves you and that you serve. Representing the class of 2026 is Jonathan Cedar and Riley Mueller. Thank you all for being role models of our community, and as you pass this on to the next class, thank you. It's a heavy roll. All right. Thank you. It takes the whole community to put that off. Graduates, please stand. You have each been molded by this community, and we now, as a community, acknowledge that you're ready to embark on the next phase of your journeys. Prepared for college and for life, and doing so with confidence and autonomy. At this time, you may turn your tassels. Congratulations and many blessings to the class of 2025.